There is a precise moment in which the boundary between the visible and the invisible seems to become thinner. An instant in which human eyes rest on a seemingly natural event, yet the heart senses that there is something more, a sign hidden in the veil of reality. On January 5, 2023, during the funeral of Pope Benedict XVI, a flock of blackbirds rose into the sky above St. Peter's Square. Shortly afterward, a thick fog enveloped the basilica, only to suddenly dissolve at the sound of the gospel, giving way to the golden rays of the sun. Coincidences? Or divine signs accompanying the final journey of a man who had dedicated his life to God? To understand him, we must retrace his history, his ministry, and his mysterious farewell. Luca Moretti was born on April 16, 1927 in a small town in Tuscany, in a small European country. He grew up in a period marked by the Second World War, a time of great instability that did not spare even his family. His childhood was characterized by deprivation and sacrifice, but also by an education based on faith and Christian values. His father, a stern but just man, transmitted to him respect for the church and dedication to prayer. His mother, on the other hand, taught him the sweetness of Christian charity, a value that would accompany him throughout his life. From an early age, Luca showed extraordinary intelligence. His teachers noted his extraordinary memory and ability to understand complex texts with impressive ease. This talent drove him to devote himself passionately to the study of the Holy Scriptures and theology, nourishing the desire to serve God in the Church. Enlisted like many young men in military service, he experienced the horrors of the conflict, but at the end of the war he chose a different, radical path. He entered the seminary together with his older brother. On June 29, 1951, he was ordained a priest, beginning a journey that would lead him to the top of the Catholic Church. During his years of study, Giovanni immersed himself completely in theology, developing a sharp and profound thought. It was precisely his intelligence that made him a reference figure for many students and scholars of the time. His brilliant mind and profound knowledge of theology soon made him a prominent figure. He became a university professor and, in 1981, Pope John Paul II called him to Rome to lead the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, one of the most delicate and fundamental roles for the protection and promotion of Catholic doctrine. In that role, Bernardi distinguished himself for his firmness in defending the truth of the faith, earning him both respect and criticism. His theological works were read and discussed throughout the world, helping to outline a clear and coherent vision of Catholic doctrine in times of profound social and cultural transformations. During his tenure as head of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, Moretti courageously addressed complex issues, including the crisis of faith in an increasingly secularized world and the need for dialogue between faith and science. His publications became a point of reference for many theologians and believers seeking answers to modern challenges. When John Paul II passed away in 2005, it was up to him to take up the heavy legacy of one of the most beloved popes in history. He was elected pope with the name Benedict XVI. His pontificate was marked by immense challenges: the secularization of society, scandals within the church, the fight to defend doctrine in a rapidly changing world. However, Benedict XVI faced these trials with humility and determination, always trying to combine faith with reason. Each of his homilies, each of his speeches was an invitation to rediscover the value of truth, justice, and divine mercy. One of the most distinctive aspects of his pontificate was the promotion of interreligious dialogue. Benedict XVI met with spiritual leaders of different faiths, seeking points of contact and emphasizing the importance of mutual respect. He knew that the modern world needed bridges, not walls, and he worked to build a climate of understanding between peoples. But what shocked the world was his decision, unprecedented in the last 7 centuries, to renounce the Petrine ministry in 2013. Bernardi did not completely withdraw from the scene, remaining Pope Emeritus and continuing to live in prayer and meditation. His choice aroused much controversy and speculation, but he always maintained an attitude of profound humility, refusing to comment on the rumors and entrusting himself completely to the divine will. His death, which occurred on December 31, 2022 at the age of 95, left a deep sense of emptiness among the faithful, but was also accompanied by mysterious events that raised questions and reflections. The flock of blackbirds, the fog that dissipated at the sound of the word, the sun that suddenly illuminated the dome of St. Peter, were they just coincidences? Or was there a celestial message behind those phenomena? These events recall other signs that appeared at crucial moments in the history of the Church. During the funeral of John Paul II, a sudden wind blew through the pages of the Gospel placed on the coffin, stopping them on a specific passage. Even then, there was talk of a signal from above. And so today, the memory of Benedict XVI seems to be intertwined with mystery, leaving us with profound questions. To delve further, we can consider how the figure of Benedict XVI fits into a context of transition for the Church. His renunciation of the pontificate opened a new era, in which the role of the Pope Emeritus takes on a new meaning. This gesture, in many ways revolutionary, raised questions about the nature of papal power and the relationship between tradition and modernity. Furthermore, the interreligious dialogue promoted by Benedict XVI has laid the foundation for a new approach of the Church to the contemporary world. In an age marked by conflict and division, his commitment to building bridges between faiths represents a precious legacy. His theology, deeply rooted in tradition but open to dialogue with modern culture, continues to be a point of reference for those who seek to reconcile faith and reason. The death of Benedict XVI and the phenomena that accompanied it invite us to reflect on the mystery of life and death, on the relationship between man and the divine. These events, whether interpreted as signs or as simple coincidences, push us to question the meaning of our existence and our spiritual journey. The figure of Benedict XVI, with his profound humility and his constant search for truth, remains a beacon for all those who seek meaning in life. His spiritual legacy, made up of faith, reason, and dialogue, continues to inspire and guide the path of the Church in the contemporary world. His life reminds us that faith is not in conflict with reason, but that together they can illuminate man's path towards knowledge and truth. What meaning can we draw from all this? Can the death of a man of faith be accompanied by signs from heaven? Or are we, with our thirst for transcendence, looking for hidden meanings in natural events? Perhaps these phenomena are not answers, but questions that invite us to reflect on our spiritual path, on the meaning of our existence, and on the connection between heaven and earth. Perhaps, deep down, the truth lies not so much in seeking tangible evidence, but in the way these events touch us internally. They remind us that life is a mystery, that death is not only an end but also a transformation, a passage to something beyond our understanding. Whether it is faith or simple wonder at the unknown, these signs, real or symbolic, push us to question ourselves, to look beyond the appearance of things. Because, deep down, what matters is not only what happens, but the meaning we choose to give it.